Hi guys, this is Kacee with your Talking to Heaven Tarot and Oracle reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sending you love and blessings and healing. This is going to be kind of a tough read, guys, because this is where I'm going to channel spirit from the other side to give us messages about how they're doing and what they want us to know, what signs and symbols they may be sharing with us, and it's going to be, about our grief as well. So this tarot deck I got not too long ago, and it's called Talking to Heaven Mediumship Cards by James Van Praagh, and it's very insightful. I have been giving impromptu readings just with various people with this, and I'm just loving the messages, so I wanted to share them with you. I also want to mention that when you're at that certain stage, you are certainly able to connect to the other side on your own by listening to your intuition, listening to what you're hearing, believing in what you're seeing and feeling and smelling, and the energy that goes through you when you think of a certain person. So that's the first thing that I want you to remember, is that you have the ability to do this on your own. I suggest taking notes in a journal, because certain spirits will give you the same symbol over and over again, and that helps you figure out which one is coming through at that time if you don't have a clear energy field. So let's go ahead and pull some cards from the Talking to Heaven Mediumship deck and see what kind of messages. All right, I have a new understanding. My death was painless. Please do not worry or hold on to guilt, which is the big thing of what we feel when our loved ones cross over, is the guilt part. Remember me by the happy memories we create. Oh my God, and my favorite, I'm not dead. Love this. Okay, so whoever is coming in to channel has a very light, bright energy, and they want us to know that they're not dead. And it's funny because when I do readings for myself, and you guys may or may not remember, but I do connect with people from the other side, and I typically will do it through my dream state. Oh, look what happens on the very bottom. I'm standing right next to you. So we're going to save that. I'm going to put it over to the side. I love this deck because it basically is confirming all the things that I think and feel and dream about on a regular basis when I connect to a spirit from the other side. And that spirit doesn't have to be a family member of mine, but if it's not, it takes me a little while to figure out who it is that I'm speaking to. But the one thing that they always say to me in my dream state or in my meditation state is that I'm not dead. And they are standing right next to us. It's just a different realm, and that's why I laugh. And I know I said this was going to be heavy, but that makes me laugh inside because it makes me feel good to know that they're not dead. They're still living. They're still doing their thing. They're still amazing. They're still cracking those corny jokes and stuff like that. It's their personalities do transfer to the other side, and that's how you kind of pick up on which spirit is talking to you. So whoever we're talking to that's coming in today is a kind of a jokester, and he's reminding me of my grandfather, because basically I had a dream of my grandfather over and over and over again, and there was a message that he was trying to give me, and I was supposed to give it to my mom. So one of the dreams that I had is like, I just say straight out, Papa, you're dead. He goes, no, I'm not. You just think I am. And I'm like, oh. And it made perfect sense in the dream, and then I wake up, I'm like, what the heck was that all about? But, he was there for a message, and he was just letting me know that he is not dead. He knows what we're doing. He knows what struggles we have, and he was there to bring peace and comfort to my mom. Oh, look at this, a child's love. The love between a parent and child is one of the most precious and deep connections we make during our time on earth. Children start out as part of us, and from their first little cries, they establish themselves as the biggest part of our hearts. As a mom, I am so resonating with losing a child, and that is something that no one should ever have to go through. But know that they, on the other side, are still having an an experience, that it's not all just dark and done. There's an experience that their soul is living right now, and they are at a place that they can pop in and out. It's like the dimensions are dual. They are here and they're on the other side at the same time. So they know exactly what we're doing and what we're going through, how much we miss them, when their birthdays come up, when we think of them, and then they send us little signs, and then they show us by butterflies or coins or feathers or smells, and they come in all different ways. Now this can also resonate with that you are the child and you have lost one of your parents, and they're coming in to say, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I didn't suffer. I was able to cross over real quick, and we had family members on the other side greeting me. Everything is fine. And when they say, I'm standing right next to you, like I said before, they're able to be in 2 dimensions at one time. Their spirit is very like liquid. It can flow in different areas, and they can be in different spots because they're in a different dimension. You know, the same dimension we all came from, but we're here in the physical on earth, and we can't remember that kind of expansion through our souls and our spirits. We're coming in with receive, and it says, you are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. But now it's time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow of the tides, the art of giving and receiving is the natural law and order of the universe. That's that energy that we're talking about, that it has changed, but you're able to receive the different energy while they're on the other side. You just know that this is your child. You just know that this is your mom or dad. You can just feel their energy, and that's what they want you to know, is that when you feel that, they're there with you for that moment, for that instant, and they're loving you and they're cheering you on from where they're on their plane, but they are still engaged in what we're doing. They're still spying on us. They're not going to go anywhere. It's just we have to figure out how to interpret those signs because their communication is different. And they want you to remember them, speak about them, because the more you speak about them, the stronger that energy pull is. You know, don't be afraid to speak of your child. I have a few very dear friends that have lost their children and or grandchild. Very tough, very tough. And there's no words that you can say to someone that has lost a child. There really isn't. Your heart just goes out to them, and that's all you can do is give them good vibes, you know, send positive healing energies and peace towards them. But basically there's no words that you can say of the physical that can help repair that broken heart. But it makes my heart full when they post things about their family members that have passed on that were quite young. And I love to see the memories. I love to have the, you know, remembrance of them. And my friends do a really good job keeping that memory in the forefront. I know it's hard for them, but it's really nice to see those smiling faces for happier times. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. It's okay to keep that memory forefront even though you're grieving. And a lot of times we expect a lot more messages when they pass over. And I want to mention that our grief puts us in a low-lying energy field. So we feel very heavy, we feel very tired, we feel very drawn. We're either not eating or eating too much, doing whatever it is that makes us feel good at the moment, but we feel like crap, okay? Our heart's broken, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's just the real reality. And then that energy blocks us from seeing, hearing, feeling, and smelling the messages because it comes in all different forms for us. And because we're in the low-lying energy, it's hard for us to see them. When we go through the grief process and we start releasing this and releasing that, and our vibration starts to rise higher, we're able to recognize them a lot easier because we're kind of filtering out all the heavy energy, all that crappy energy, and letting in the joyful love energy, which is how they're trying to connect with us. Everybody should grieve at their own pace, but the sooner we release the grief part, the stronger the messages come through. Believe and seek. The force that works through your soul determining what's possible or impossible. The difference between success over failure, and above all, who you are is the power of your belief. Exactly, determining what's possible or impossible. If you decide that it's impossible for you to speak to your loved one on the other side, then that's exactly how it's going to be. But if you believe that it is possible for you to speak to them and recognize the signs and symbols, then what's stopping you from talking to them on a regular basis? And they want you to speak to them. They want you to reach out. They want to be part of your team. Again, we have that free will stuff going on, so we're able to do anything that we want. We can manifest anything we want. But again, we need to invite the angels in. We need to invite our friends in, family in from the other side to help us out. They have powers that we don't. You know, when we crossed over to be reincarnated on Earth, we left all that over there. We decided that we were going to take this journey. And part of this journey was losing them to the other side so that we can learn a lesson. But they want us to know that as we learn the lesson, they're not gone. So it's not all dark and doom. It's actually bright and light. Seek is another message coming in, and it reads, the power of the Spirit exists in all things. Everything is made of energy, and every single thing in your physical world contains a fragment of spirit, including you. We are all one with Spirit and always will be connected to one another. Perfect. Always that energy that connects us to one another, no matter what realm we're on, what phase of our lives we're on. We're always connected to the people on the other side, just like we're still connected to the people here of the physical, whether we can hang out with them or not. So we have to remember that this energy goes both ways, on the other side in the spiritual as well as in here in the physical. So keep that in mind when you're going through your grief. Know that they're still with you. I know we all say it and we all tell each other that when we're going through this really hard time of the separation void. Try to fill that void with as much of love and light and positive memories as you can, so that you can release the really heavy sadness part, so you can get the messages through. If you're still in that grief zone, that you're really in the heavy energy, please listen to this message to know that they're waiting for you. They're going to guide you. They have never left. They're standing next to you. They're holding your hand. They're trying to comfort you the best way that they know how. So don't discount that they've ever left. That connection never dies. They are not dead. They have a sense of humor. They're doing stuff. They're playing tricks on us. They're changing radio stations on us. They're making, you'll look at your phone, it'll be 1111, you know, or 222 or 333. Yeah, if it's their birthday or something and you start seeing things. Oh, a friend of mine, whose birthday was it? There was a situation or a holiday and her sister popped up. And it was like the perfect timing, it was the perfect everything, and she just knew that it was her sister. It was the memories on Facebook. Sorry, I didn't mention that. And the memories on Facebook, it kind of popped up, and it was like perfect timing for a particular situation. And I knew her sister, and I was like, yeah, she totally manipulated that. She's so funny, and it really was funny. Her sister has a sense of humor, even on the other side, and that's how I know it's her. You know, so know that those images, those things, they're real. Write them down, you know, put dates next to them, time it as best as you can, because there will be a sequence that you'll be able to pick up on. Angel message for us: take action. You're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. So you guys totally know that that's them. And people around you don't believe you, okay? And you're like, I don't care, because I know it's that person. I know it. I feel it. I can smell their perfume. I can smell their cologne, whatever the case is. You know it's that person. You know when you see that out of the corner of your eye that there was somebody standing in the hallway when you walked by. But just because you turned around and there wasn't anyone there doesn't mean they weren't there out of your peripheral vision. It's, you totally saw them. It was totally your grandfather or your spouse or your child. Whoever you think it is, when you get that vibration, you're not crazy. It is them. So they just want you to know that they are so with us in every particular moment. I'm going to pull another angel card because I feel like I need to have one for that balance of energy. I love that they're coming through so happy and kind of joking, because I was really worried that it was going to be a very heavy reading. Isabella. Yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. So just like we talked about, expect to speak to them. Make notes. You know, if you have something to say, write them a letter, say it out loud. Just talk to them like you normally would if you're walking in the kitchen. You know, it's just as easy as that. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't have to have a candle. You don't have to be in a certain spot. You can do it while you're driving. Whatever prompts you to speak to them, please do so, and they will speak back or respond back in the way that they know how. So please keep that in mind as you're going through this. It's really, really tough. It is a lot of energy. But if you can try to get through the heavy energy to lighten into the joyful energy, the happy memories, it allows them to come through a lot stronger and a lot clearer. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me read for you today. I hope the message helps. I would love if you would comment and or subscribe, because I would really, really want you to come back and visit with me for another episode. Thank you. Take care.